somebody is giving somebody 5,000 naira. If he gives you 10,000 naira, to him, he has wasted that money. Why? Because the anointing upon your life is 5,000 naira anointing. So the person that is carrying 5,000 naira, what are you supposed to do? You grow your anointing. Let the anointing upon your life be more speak. Let it increase. Let it increase. And it's true. The person will just think that he threw that money away. And there are just 3 things in which anybody can grow the anointing. 3. Which is open to everybody.
Wow.
You see, for example.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, you're welcome. My name is Agnes and I'm happy to have you here. If this is not your first time tuning in, thank you for coming back again and again. So in today's video, we have a guest of the channel and I would like him to introduce himself.
By the special grace of God, tomorrow will be my induction ceremony in Coast State Medical University. So tomorrow, by God's grace, is my graduation ceremony as a medical doctor. So though people popularly call me Parapolika. So I'm here in Coast State Medical University. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Brother Polika. Please feel at home or just relax. Don't be tense.
Okay, thank you.
So, Brother Polika, I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions because your life has really been an inspiration.
Thank you.
And right from the first time that I got to WCCI and I met you, you have just been such a blessing to me. And I said I should bring you on here so that my people here can get blessed from this river of the blessing of God that is upon your life.
Thank you.
So you people should get ready and make sure you watch the video to the end so that you get every single thing. Okay, Brother Polycarp, so what inspired you to choose medicine?
That's a long question. What inspired me? I would say, by the special grace of God, at the age of 13, I encountered Christ, and I started hearing from God from day one, because how I encountered Christ was I was alone. I started hearing a particular voice talking to me, and I knew it was the voice of God. So I would say that I started hearing from God from day one. Then also I had this personal understanding that life is about purpose. So early in life, I chose to know God's mind for my life. So I knew that God wanted me to become a medical doctor. Despite the road was rough and tough, I knew that, like I know my name, that God wanted me to be a medical doctor. And if you ask me what really helps me most, was that I know that you can't defeat a man who's on a divine mission.
Brother
I know that. So that was my courage. You can't defeat any man who's on a divine mission. No man can stop a man who's on a divine mission. He can only be stopped when he chooses to stop himself. No man can stop a man who's on a divine mission. So that helps me. So I knew that there was no power strong enough in this world to stop me from becoming a medical doctor, despite the challenges.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, thank God. So, Brother Polycarp, the next question I'm going to ask you is, when you said you were going to go to, because like you're in Coast State you're graduating from Coast State Medical University now and becoming a doctor tomorrow. So the whole journey from you coming from Nigeria to this point, how has it been? Like, I want you to tell me how the journey was.
The journey. I would say that it has been God. How? I never knew I was going to study medicine outside Nigeria. And when the vision came, when the door opened, what actually happened was that I never knew that one could study medicine outside Nigeria at that affordable rate. As at the time I was coming to Coast State Medical University, that was 2015. And dollar in Nigeria was about 199.
Wow.
So I remember with 1.3 million, I could pay for my hostel accommodation, my yearly tuition fees, even my airport pickup. That 1,050 USD that school would charge for them to come and pick you was also inclusive. I remember when I paid 1.3 million, I still had change. So it wasn't that cumbersome, let me put it that way. But another thing was that what actually happened was that someone chose or rather, someone offered to pay for my first year tuition fees in Coast State Medical University. And the person told me that from year 2, he will not be able to assist me. I said, don't worry. Because I knew that God was in it.
Okay.
So that was how I came here.
But how did you meet the person who said that as in the person who offered to? Because it doesn't happen normally for someone to just say, I'm offering to pay that huge amount of money for you.
And funny enough, it was someone that I least expected. And I remember far back then, the person, this person is actually a man of God. I don't know what God told him, but the person single-handedly sponsored everything, including my flight and everything.
Oh my God.
I just stumbled on the person.
That was a divine coincidence. Because I'm of the opinion that nothing just happens like that, especially for a man of faith. If you're somebody who is spiritual, then God orchestrates those divine things in line for them to bring you to the point where He wants you to be, right?
I think I remember something. Sorry for interrupting you.
No problem.
The person who did that, I least expected it. For example, the person was even a Reverend Father.
Wow.
And what I only knew, God told me to always clean his shoes, wash his cassock, serving. The person is active in ministry. So I wasn't expecting that, okay? So what happened was that when I had a vision, I just heard that, you could study medicine outside the country. A friend of mine who was doing LYC then as a medical doctor happened to know somebody who finished from my school, from Coast State Medical University. And the person was the one who licked me up. So when I told this man of God, he said, no, just go ahead. I can sponsor your first year, but just that after second year, I can't, be able. But since I knew God was involved, since I knew, like I know my name, God was involved then, I had to give it all.
You took that leap of faith. Because coming to Russia and you are just coming for the first year, you don't even know where the rest is coming from. You just took that leap of faith. Gosh. So how did you now move from second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth year? How did it happen?
I think Bishop Oyedepo will always say, don't go after the glory, go after the story. Actually, when I was coming to Coast State Medical University in 2015, one of the things I did was, I remember I came with 3 extra luggages filled with books because I knew that life is a function of knowledge. So I needed to grow my faith. It's like there are some men of God you will give 5,000 naira to. You dare not give them above 5,000 naira. You think it's a waste. Because the grace of God upon their life is 5,000 naira grace. Whereas there are some men of God, if you give them 20,000 naira, it's as if you are insulting them. Why? Because of the grace. So I told myself I was going to grow in grace. And that is a function of knowledge. So I used to tell people then that I came with my own generator. In other words, I wasn't looking for anybody to generate me. What was I trying to say? I was stirring up the word in my spirit. Because the word of God works. And I made up my mind that I was going to, it's like I was telling someone growing up in Nigeria, you hear that honesty pays. It's not true. No, I'm not trying to say that honesty does not pay. But an average Nigerian, his or her attitude does not show that honesty pays. How many people are truly honest? Okay, if he actually pays, how come an average Nigerian is not honest? Whether the person is a believer or is not a believer. But honesty actually pays. I remember as a little boy, I told myself I was going to practicalize that. And he did. Honesty pays. So what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is, I would say that I'm a student. So that helps me. Because my life from the beginning has been very peculiar. There's nobody you can use, you can compare your life with, when your life is peculiar in that sense, you can't really emulate anybody in that sense. then you have to just, it's as if you and God alone, as it were. You know, let me quickly say this. I remember when I was about coming to Russia, I brought out my laptop. Then I've not yet come to Russia. I was preparing to come to Russia. I brought out my laptop. I was on my bed, trying to look for what I could do that would fetch me money as a student. Okay, something I could do outside my academics that could fetch me money. And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Son, you are looking for where to work so that you get money. Would you work for me so that I will pay you?" And the Lord said, "Son, work for me. I, the Lord, will pay you." So wow. So I knew when I'm not saying working as a student is a sin, but I knew the Lord was about employing me before coming. And He did. That's really paid off.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
So, Brother Polycarp, I would like you to share, please, because I have the privilege of knowing a bit into your life, right? So, I would like you to share about healing, because I don't know if you're comfortable with me saying this, but there was a time when you had to go home on account of something. So, would you like to share that experience?
Yeah. There was a time I had to go home on account of tuberculosis. Yeah. I can say that because it's a thing that only God will be glorified. Now, I want to quickly say something. God is not against drugs. God is not against drugs. But at the same time, as believers, taking drugs should not be, it's not God's best for us. For example, there is a place of healing, there is a place of divine health. Divine health is better. Just like there is a place of miracle and there is a place of blessing. Blessing is better. It's like for you to eat, you have to just believe God for a miracle. For you to do this, you have to just believe God for a miracle. All of that is good, but there's something that is better. It's better for you to eat. You have all the meals you want to eat. You just choose. Why? Because of the blessings of God upon your life.
Amen.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say in the nutshell is, I just want to quickly chip in something. When a believer is having, or when a believer's health is being challenged, I want to quickly say something in this area. First thing is, your faith is what is being challenged.
True.
So quickly size your faith. Can my faith carry me through? If your faith cannot carry you through, you can depend on drugs while you are building your faith. Okay? You see, there are some people today who died earlier than expected, and they didn't know the difference. They think that, oh, I'm not sick, confessing God. No, if your faith is, you will know, because if your faith is weak faith cannot deliver. It's only a strong faith that can deliver. You understand what I'm saying? So, but when your faith is up, whatever symptoms or whatever challenge that comes against your health, be sure that you are going to overcome.
Amen.
But if your faith is not in place, okay, if your faith is not in place, especially there are, you see, things like, let me say something like, somebody who is having all sicknesses. Thank God I'm not a medical doctor. All sicknesses are not the same. For example, somebody who is fighting, let's say, headache, or malaria, for example, because headache is just a symptom of something.
Yes.
So somebody who is fighting malaria, for example, you discover that you can build your faith in that area. But someone who is fighting cancer, remember there's metastasis, of which it can spread easily.
Yes.
So at that point, if your faith is not up, you can seek medical help while you build your faith. But if your faith is up, that cancer must definitely come down. So know when your faith is up and when your faith is not up. I quickly say this. Last time I was in Nigeria, because whenever we come to school here, every semester or every session, we used to go for medical checkup. So there was this medical checkup I did back in Nigeria, last time I was in Nigeria. And because I used to cough, okay? And they said it was one, it was, I just needed to take antibiotics because it was one, I'm trying to remember the name of the bacteria now. But something happens. I actually went to the chemist or to the pharmacist to buy the antibiotics, I remember vividly. This was either 2021 or 2022. It should be 2020. No, 2022, last year. Now, when I bought it, Something happened.